Hello.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes. Shall we start?
Yes, ma'am.
एक second. So which 3 points we have discussed yesterday? Can anybody give me the 3 points that we have discussed? Which 3 points are there?
How the physician ascertain.
How is the physician to ascertain what is necessary to be known, to ascertain what is necessary to know in the order to cure the disease?
And
How is he knowledge?
The pathogenesis power of the medicines.
correct.
That is how is to gain the knowledge of the instruments.
So
And
What is
third one is what is the most suitable method of employing these artificial morbific agents for the cure of the natural disease?
right. So today we will discuss the first point, that is the classification of the disease. This classification of the disease starts from the aphorism number 72. Just we will read first this aphorism 71 and then 72. As it is now no longer matter of who will read except Nuzar. Who will read?
आम्ही वाचू.
नाही ना राजा, आपण रोजच वाचतो. दुसरं कोणी नाहीये का? वैष्णवी रीड. वैष्णवी. जीवन. प्रांजली. श्रीनिवास. स्नेहल.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, read beta.
As it now no longer a matter of doubt that the disease of mankind consists merely of a group of a certain symptoms and may be annihilated and transformed into the health by medical substance, but not by such as are capable of artificially producing similar morbid symptoms, and such is the process in all the genuine cure. Hence, the operation of curing is compressed in the three following points.
Bas. Thank you. As it is now no longer a matter of doubt that the diseases of mankind consist of group of certain symptoms. Now, up to this, that is up to the aphorism number 70, Dr. Haniman has given the clear-cut idea about the what is disease. नाउ ही सेड दैट कि नाउ जो भी ये पढ़ रहा है एफोरिज्म, अब उसको डाउट नहीं रहेगा कि व्हाट इज डिसीज. सो इट इज अ ग्रुप ऑफ certain symptom and we have to annihilate it, and when you annihilate it the health will be there, so that disease will be transferred into the health. Kaise? By medicinal substances, but only by such as are capable of artificially producing similar morbid symptoms. लेकिन the medicines should be similar. They should produce a similar and stronger artificial disease. Hence, so now we know what is disease. That disease means the symptoms. That symptom has to be annihilated. When it is annihilated, there will be a health. And for that, which type of medicine we have to prescribe? So we have to prescribe the similar artificial agent, so that there will be a cure. So for that cure, these three points, or this operation of cure is comprised of these 3 points. It is explained in the aphorism number 71. So first point that we will take about the classification of the disease, sim. Second, which is related to the case taking, and the fourth that is related to the drug proving. So we will start from the aphorism number 72, that is classification of the disease. Okay, now who will read? Who will read?
Ma'am, can I?
Read.
With respect to the first point, the following will serve as a general preliminary view. The diseases to which man is liable are either rapid morbid processes of abnormally deranged vital force, which have a tendency to finish their course more or less quickly, but always in a moderate time. These are termed acute diseases, or they are diseases of a such character that with small, often imperceptible beginnings, dynamically derange the living organism, each in its own peculiar manner, and cause it gradually to deviate from the healthy condition in such a way that the automatic life energy called vital force, whose office is to preserve the health, only opposes to them at the commencement and during their progress imperfect, unsuitable, unless resistant, but is unable of itself to extinguish them, but must helplessly suffer itself to be every more and more abnormally deranged until at length the organism is destroyed. These are termed chronic diseases. They are caused by dynamic infection with a chronic miasm.
Okay, thank you. With respect to the first point, that is this first point, that is about the classification of disease, now he will explain. The following will serve as a general preliminary view. The disease to which, now again he expressed the what is disease. The disease which man is liable is either a rapid process, that means the onset of the disease may be a rapid one, that is the sudden onset of the abnormally deranged vital force, which have a tendency to finish their course more or less quickly. So in short, the first type now he is describing, that is the which disease is this? Which is having a rapid process and which finish their course very quickly. Which type of disease is this?
Acute
Acute
disease.
disease. But always in a moderate time. Moderate time means in a fixed time. So these are termed as the acute disease. So in the classification, the first type is the acute diseases, or they are the diseases of such a character that with small, often imperceptible beginning. So to give the example for the acute disease is very easy. If you are going outside, if there is a dust, if there is a pollution, suddenly you may have a sneezing, you may have a cough. So this starts very rapidly. After 1 to 2 hours, when you come back to the home, you will have a sneezing, you are having the cough, you may have the coryza. So that is a rapid process. where the vital force is deranged by the exciting factor very rapidly. It will have the moderate time, 1 to 2 days you may have the coryza, you may have the running nose. After the 2 to 3 days, it will finish its course either by taking the medicine or by taking the steam or by taking the similar medicine that will finish its course, that is known as the acute disease. The another one is which is having the small, often imperceptible beginning. So when this acute disease, when it is palliated, it is transferred to the chronic one that we have seen, and hence he said that it is imperceptible. Dynamically derange the living organism, each in its own peculiar manner. So the manner may be different. It may be the palliation, it may be the suppression, it may be the false treatment, it may be the anything, and cause it gradually to deviate from the healthy condition. तो यहाँ पे उन्होंने word use किया है gradually, और पहले उन्होंने word use किया था rapid, more quickly. These two words he used for the acute disease. Now for the chronic one, he used the word gradually. So that disease gradually makes you unfit or from the healthy condition to the disease condition in such a way that the automatic life energy called vital force, whose office means whose work is to preserve the health, only opposes them at the commencement and during their process. But ये जो opposition रहेगा by the vital force, it is imperfect, it is unsuitable, it is less resistant, so he cannot resist it, and at the last he is unable to extinguish them, and hence there is the formation of the signs and symptoms. That vital force became more helpless, it is more and more abnormally वो deranged हो जाएगा until at the length of organism is destroyed. So this is known as the chronic diseases. They are caused by the infection with a chronic miasm. So in the classification, the first is the acute disease, second one is the chronic disease. So how you can define the acute disease, which is having the rapid onset, which abnormally derange the vital force, which have a tendency to finish its course in a moderate amount of time, and which will be cured very quickly. And in the chronic disease, how it starts, the onset is imperceptible. It affects the vital force dynamically, but that thing is the imperceptible. It will affect in a peculiar manner. The vital force try to oppose it at the beginning and during the course also, but that opposition, it is unsuitable, it is क्या बोलेंगे, it is not proper to extinguish them. Now the vital force became helpless, it became now suffered, it is automatically deranged by them. कब तक, जब तक वो साइन एंड सिम्टम शो नहीं कर देता है, एंड ऑल दिस प्रोसीजर और ऑल ये जो प्रोसेस हो रही है बॉडी में पेशेंट के, दैट विल टर्म एज अ क्रॉनिक डिसीज. तो यहाँ पे ऑनसेट जो रहेगा, इट इज वेरी स्लो, इम्परसेप्टिबल ऑनसेट रहेगा. यहाँ पे द वाइटल फोर्स जो डिरेंज रहेगा, इट इज बैडली अफेक्टेड, द वाइटल फोर्स इज अनेबल टू एक्सटिंग्विश इट, हेल्पलेसली वो सफर्ड रहेगा, and hence it is known as a chronic disease. So बहुत दिनों तक वो जो disease रहेगा, that is nothing but a chronic disease. And this chronic disease, we know how it is caused. It is caused by the infection of chronic miasm. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Definition clear?
ma'am.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So which points are important in the difference between acute and chronic disease?
Acute disease are rapid onset and abnormally deranged vital force.
Acute disease onset is sudden
Valla,
and
please complete.
chronic
Please
is
let her
one of
complete. हाँ, हो.
Sorry, acute disease are rapid onset and abnormally deranged vital force. It takes moderate time and it finishes their course less quickly.
Right. And chronic?
Acute disease. And chronic disease onset is imperceptible, affect the vital force in a peculiar manner, opposes the vital force and not proper to extinguish.
Right. Now,
Also unable
वल्लभ तू सांग आता.
Okay, ma'am. In acute diseases, onset is sudden, symptoms are violent, and duration is short. And in chronic diseases, symptoms are slow. There is a derangement in the vital force because of dynamic cause.
Okay. So, which
And,
points you have to write down?
There is a derangement of.
Continue.
There's a ma'am, position of vital force is unsuitable, imperfect, and is less resistant.
Yes.
And there is unable to itself extinguish them to fight against that disease, chronic
Right.
disease.
Okay. So,
Ma'am,
first you had to write down what happened.
श्रीला ऍड करा ना मॅम ते नेटवर्क
केलं
प्रॉब्लेम
ना.
मुळे
2 वेळा ऍड केलं मी त्याला. आलं माझ्या लक्षात ते त्याचं हे आलं होतं ना. 2 वेळा केलं मी त्याला ऍड.
ओके मॅम.
हा. सो विच पॉइंट यू हॅव टू राईट डाऊन. फर्स्ट इज अ ऑनसेट, म्हणजे याचा रॅपिड आहे आणि त्याचं ग्रॅज्युअल आहे. त्याच्यानंतर प्रोग्रेस पण ह्याचा रॅपिड आहे आणि त्याचा इम्परसेप्टिबल अँड स्लो आहे. द थर्ड पॉइंट यू कॅन राईट डाऊन द टाइम कन्झम्पशन. सो याच्यामध्ये टाइम कन्झम्पशन फॉर द अक्यूट दॅट इज अ मॉडरेट आणि क्रॉनिक मध्ये तुमचं टाइम कन्झम्पशन इट इज नॉट फिक्स. सो हे 4 पॉइंट्स. त्याच्यानंतर फिफ्थ मध्ये the vital force is unable